They will go for anyone who stands up. Hey, how about Elon Musk? Check this headline from the Daily Wire. Federal government launches systemic racism probe into Tesla. We got a little info on that. California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing said that it has received hundreds of complaints from African-American workers who claim they had been segregated to the lowest levels of the workforce at the company and lacked representation in the ranks of executives, senior officials, and managers. Tesla's most recent filings with the SEC indicated that the EEOC had issued a finding that closely parallels allegations from the state of California. Yet Tesla had formally called the DFEH investigation misguided and an attempt to generate publicity, noting that every one of the more than 50 discrimination accusations faced by Tesla over the past 5 years has been debunked by the DFEH. Now, the reason I bring this up is obviously Elon Musk has become wildly outspoken related to politics. He tried to buy Twitter and at the very least has exposed Twitter to be completely fraudulent. He has gone on the record saying he would support Ron DeSantis. He voted for Mayra Flores in Texas. First time he says he ever voted for a Republican. So then what happens? Next thing you know, the SEC is looking into his company about systemic racism. And by the way, I don't know the full racial breakdown of every Tesla employee. I don't know it. But if you just happen to hire people based on their skills, their color will be irrelevant. So if you would like to work at a company where they hire not the people who are best skilled, but based on their sexuality or gender or color of skin, you're not going to get the best product. This is simply true. But that's a separate issue. The issue here is this is what these people do. They weaponize the government, right? This is the IRS, Obama's IRS, going after all the Tea Party groups. They use the levers of government to destroy their opposition. And why would you do that? Because you have to distract from the larger issues, of course, that they've caused, sort of like the recession, or as they call it, the non-recession. Here's black lesbian Karine Jean-Pierre saying she's not even going to tell you what recession means.
And what is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here. I'm just going to leave it to the NBER, as we have stated, of how they define recession.
You won't declare it one until they have declared it one.
I'm just saying that we're just not going to define it. We use the indicators that the NBER, the National Bureau of Economic Research, have used.
Okay, she's not going to define it. But whether she defines it or not, there is a definition of recession. That has been the commonly used definition of recession for 100 years or something like that. And it's basically 2 quarters in a row where things are not going up. That's pretty much back to back, 2 of those, recession. That's pretty much how it works. Here's more from Karine Jean-Pierre.
Next week's a very big week for the economy. So I read the CEA blog. Is the White House trying to change the common definition of a recession because next Thursday the GDP numbers coming out are going to show that we've been in a recession?
So let me say this, the strength of our labor market along with the other economic factors is what we generally see in a recession, or even is not what we generally see in a recession or even a pre-recession, because we're seeing the strength of the economy and the labor market. So that's really important to note there.
It's just nothingness. It's just endless nothingness. That was the whole point of that clip. Like, they will literally redefine words right in front of you. This is what they do. But you can't be surprised by this. If someone says that 2 + 2 is 5, you might start thinking, geez, I'm not sure that I want to trust this person when it comes to defining other words.